Thank you, Acting Speaker, and I'm absolutely delighted to be rising to speak on the Victorian Labor budget for 2026. In doing so, I'd like to firstly acknowledge, of course, the Treasurer Symes, the first female Treasurer in Victoria's history, on her most recent, not so recent budget now, going back to May, the Premier, the Deputy Premier, the Minister for Finance, and of course all the Cabinet Ministers, Ministerial Officers, Department and teams for putting together and assembling this year's budget. The 25-26 budget, Acting Speaker, puts forward our positive, prudent and meaningful economic plan for Victoria for the year ahead, while ensuring we can continue to take that real action to support all Victorians, including people across Pascoe Vale, Coburg and Brunswick West, when it comes to the cost of living, jobs and skills opportunities, education, transport, health and wellbeing, community sport, environment and sustainability, action and social justice and fairness outcomes for all. And Acting Speaker, underpinning this approach is ensuring we continue to strengthen Victoria's economic growth and overall financial position, of course. And in this respect, I'm very pleased to highlight that the 25-26 budget will continue to support Labor's approach since 2014 to build a stronger economy for everyone. Victoria continues to lead all other states in terms of real economic growth, which has remained the case over the last decade. We've added $138 billion in value and worth to the Victorian economy in our time in office, and the gross state product has increased by 1.5% during the 23-24 year. The economy is now 11.5% larger than prior to the pandemic, and our economy has grown by over 9% in the last 2 years alone, according to Deloitte. And we've continued, of course, that record jobs growth of 900,000 jobs created since 2014. We've continued to keep unemployment rates low, much lower than the Liberal opposition left behind of nearly 7% when they lost office in 2014. And we've supported businesses and industries to grow, with more than 113,000 new businesses having been created and opened across Victoria in the last 5 years. 18% growth in new businesses, higher than any other state in percentage terms. And business investment has grown by 30% since 2021, higher than the largest percentage growth of any other state, reaching record high shares of overall economic activity. And business investment has grown by 3.7% over the year to December 24, compared to negative 0.1 nationally, Acting Speaker. But it's also a budget, of course, that will return Victoria to surplus, forecast to generate a $600 million operating surplus by the end of the financial year. It's a budget that reduces net debt to gross state product, GSP, over the forward estimates, and it's a budget that will continue to invest in frontline services, cost of living relief and support for all Victorians. And Acting Speaker, it's a budget approach that's continuing to attract more investment and more people to want to come live, learn, work, raise a family, do business and retire in Victoria. Victoria's population is growing at the fastest rate in the nation. More people want to live here. 130,000 more people have moved here in the last 12 months, 2% growth in population across the state compared to 1.3% or 102,000 people in New South Wales. And Geelong is the top location for people to want to relocate anywhere in Australia, more than the Gold Coast. When it comes to approval and construction of new homes, Victoria also continues to lead the way. 61,260 home completions as of January 25, 8.8% year-on-year increase. That's compared to New South Wales, who delivered 45,600 new homes. That's a negative 4.4% decline. And Queensland delivering 44,200 homes, 28,500 homes less than Victoria. And Victoria also leads the nation on home approvals, approving more than 10,600 homes in New South Wales and approving more than 17,000 homes in Queensland. And record numbers of tourists have continued to visit Victoria, international, interstate and interstate, as we've touched on earlier in the debate today. 2 million people attended our major events across Victoria over the last year. 700,000 people attended the football. 465,000, the Australian Grand Prix record crowd earlier this year. 200,000 at the Avalon Air Show. Record crowds at Kushama at the NGV, the Food and Wine Festival coming up, the NBL, the NFL and so much more. And Acting Speaker, across many of our economic, financial and socioeconomic metrics, and despite international, economic and inflationary challenges, global geopolitical tensions and trade uncertainty, the reality is Victoria's economy is continuing to grow in a positive, stable and resilient manner. But Acting Speaker, as a Labor government and Labor movement, we also know that a budget is much more than just a balance sheet. It's about helping people. That's why, along with solidifying Victoria on a prudent and stable economic and financial path, this year's budget also takes that important action to support young people, families, workers, seniors and everyone in between. In this respect, I very much welcome and support the range of cost of living measures in the budget, which include free public transport for kids under 18 years of age every day, saving families around $755 per year from January 26. free public transport for seniors card holders on weekends, saving seniors more than $360 a year, making the pharmacy pilot bigger and permanent to treat more conditions via free consultations without the need to see a doctor for a script. The extra $200 Get Active Kids vouchers for families who need them most, with the cost of community sport and participation. Uplifting the Camp Sports and Excursions Fund to $400 for all eligible primary and secondary school students in government and non-government schools. Funding to all children under 16 years to keep enjoying free admission to the Melbourne Zoo, Werribee Zoo, Hillsville Sanctuary and Kyabram Park. Continuing our free kinder initiative for all 3 and 4 year olds, saving families $2,600 per year per child. Our ongoing support for our landmark free Smile Squad dental schools in program, which is saving families around $400 to $500, depending on the checkup and the treatment follow-up needed by children in schools. Ongoing support the budget provides for our free glasses and vision screening program in schools. Again, saving families anywhere between $200 to $500 on the cost of vision screening and glasses. We're bringing back the power saving bonus via the new $100 PBS bonus for all eligible seniors and concession card holders as well. We're extending off the planned stamp duty concession for a further year to help those first home buyers, young people, families, workers, downsizers and retirees to find the home that they deserve. And of course, we're providing a lot of different investments to support families through mortgage stress, those in need of food relief for renters with the Minister at the table here as well, and many other disadvantaged community cohorts. This is a budget that's on the side of Victorian people. And Acting Speaker, along with the cost of living relief, the budget also very much continues our efforts to grow and drive jobs and skills outcomes for all Victorians. As I said, 900,000 jobs almost created since 2014, and those continued lower levels of unemployment across the state and ongoing job-generating investments, including through the big build infrastructure, transport, kinder, school upgrades, hospital, housing and other service investments. More investment into frontline services. We're talking about doctors, nurses, health workers, kinder educators, school teachers, TAFE teachers, police officers, paramedics, firefighters, health and wellbeing, mental health and community and other services. Ongoing support to deliver free TAFE. Over 80 free TAFE courses now available to Victorians. And of course, we're facilitating the implementation of our economic growth statement to fully support industry, business and small business, including through the priority sector areas of advanced manufacturing and defence, health technologies and medical research, circular economy, digital technology, agribusiness, and halving the number of regulators by 2030, and giving those practical supports and assistance to our small business community. I want to commend as well the Minister for Small Business, Minister Suleiman, for her work in this space, particularly around the payroll tax threshold reforms that are part of this budget from 1st of July, with the threshold raising from $900,000 to $1 million, which will help a lot more small businesses not pay or pay reduced amounts of payroll tax across the state. But it's also very much a budget that's about revitalising Central Coburg as well, Acting Speaker. And one of the keynote projects we funded through this project is the $6 million investment to deliver a brand new Basher Hooley Foundation and Academy of Sport in Central Coburg to be built at the Coburg Oval Precinct on the site of the former Mall and Bowls Club on Harding Street. The new Basher Hooley Foundation and Islamic College and Aspire College of Sport will provide for a new main school campus for the Academy, 12 new flexible use classrooms and learning spaces, 2 new indoor sports courts and brand new change rooms, dedicated access to sporting facilities such as high-performance gym and amenities, breakout areas for students, staff, administrative facilities and accompanying toilet facilities, unique and focused programs for students seeking a combination of high-performance sport environments, a choice of education offerings, an inclusive and active place where both Muslim and non-Muslim Victorians can connect through sport. Outside of school hours, the facility will of course be utilised and accessed by the local community and sporting clubs with a focus on enabling women and girls' participation in sport by providing a culturally safe and welcoming space. And the Basher Hooley Foundation, of course, has a long history of building connections through mentorship and sport in the Victorian community. The school will support 76 students in Year 11 and 12 through their VCE studies, and with this important investment to expand to Year 7 and 10 in the coming years in the heart of Central Coburg, providing that job, skills and education pathways in the heart of the North for decades to come. I want to acknowledge the Premier, the Deputy Premier, Minister for Education, Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Basher Hooley, Ali Fahor, and everyone who's worked so hard to bring this project together, including my federal colleague Peter Khalil, the federal member for Wills, who's helped secure a $15 million Albanese Labor government towards realising this project as well. And it will be a driving force for Coburg revitalisation in the heart of our community. And along with this outcome, the budget also supports our government's continued efforts, as I said, to facilitate new industry, business and small business jobs and skills outcomes. And I'd like to draw the House's attention to the statement's 10-year plan to unlock industrial land, underutilised industrial land, to give business and community more certainty. And in this respect, I'm really excited about the opportunities associated with the former Kangam Batman TAFE site situated in Coburg north of my electorate, which continues to provide new and future opportunities for economic development, jobs, skills, social enterprise, community and commercial pathways for locals to benefit from. So I look forward to continuing that advocacy on that site through that statement. Because, Acting Speaker, along with jobs and skills pathways, the budget also recognises the fundamental role that a quality education provides in building and leading a prosperous livelihood. We've supported teachers and schools to lift Year 12 completion rates dramatically from 92% in 2021 to 97% today. And that's why I'm also delighted, of course, that we're continuing on with our free kinder initiative and continuing the pipeline of local kinder upgrades with an $11.8 million investment towards upgrading 11 local kinders across Marybrek, creating 385 extra places over coming years. I was very happy to have previously visited the Derby Street Children's Centre with the Minister for Early Childhood Education, Minister Blanthorne, to celebrate its completed upgrade and to meet with Louise Wood, the centre manager. $3.1 million redevelopment that we've chipped in $1.2 million for. We've rebuilt the 4-year-old kinder room, added 27 new approved children's places for the centre to now accommodate 110 places. And it was also great to visit the Marybeck Toy Library with the Minister too around that time, and to catch up with Anna Figueiredo, the President of the Marybeck Toy Library, and we provided a grant, $6,000 grant to support the Toy Library continue its good work. Over 500 families access the Toy Library across Pascoe Vale and Brunswick West, so that's a great initiative to support. I really look forward to also working with the Minister on progressing early childhood and wellbeing opportunities on the old Coburg Special Development School site on the corner of Gaffney Street and Bishop Street too, which I continue to advocate and champion as well. It was also a pleasure to have secured $436,000 for VicSeg New Futures, again in the heart of Central Coburg, jobs in Central Coburg, to continue their pioneering multilingual children's program based out of Coburg. VicSeg's early childhood multilingual program now reaches across the northwest, supporting 22 playgroups, over 300 migrant, asylum seeking refugee families, and commendations to the entire VicSeg team, Marie Raftis, Casper, Zika and all the others for their efforts in championing their work. I was also very proud to have secured funding for the magnificent Coburg Primary School community in this budget. Coburg Primary will share in $10 million of statewide funding that will go towards essential planning for much-needed future upgrades and refurbishment to improve the learning space for teachers, students and the wider school community. It's one of the oldest schools in this state's history, so it's well overdue for an upgrade and a facelift, to say the least. And again, commendations to the entire school community who do a great job advocating for it. Jacob Cantor, the school council president, Michael McCormick, school council, Emma Burrows, school council, Charlotte Bouette, who was the acting principal, Matt Kirby, the principal, Lucy Williams, the assistant principal, and so many others. And that, of course, builds on the work we've been doing with Coburg Primary to deliver them previously new portables on the junior campus, funding to upgrade and repair their accessibility ramps and other maintenance refurbishment work, and road safety priorities along Bell Street, Elm Grove and Urquhart Street as well. Westbreen Primary as well, pleasure to have helped support them with a brand new double-storey portable that we've delivered earlier in the year. Coburg North Primary, $500,000 towards upgrading their toilets. Commendations to Michelle Tedeschi, the acting principal, and the entire school community there. We opened the $18 million upgraded Pascoe Vale Primary School as well recently. Commendations to School Council President Deb Cownley, Anne McNaughton, the principal, Yvette Jones, the PFA President and Communications Coordinator, so enthusiastic in championing the school, so great to open their new facilities. We recently visited, Acting Speaker, Newlands Primary with the Premier to celebrate their $20 million upgrades that we've delivered, so fantastic to work with them. But of course there's more to do with Marybeck Primary School, of course, that I continue to champion, and many, many others. We're continuing to deliver through this budget the aspirations of the Marybeck North Secondary Education Plan and further improvements and opportunities for Coburg High, Strathmore Secondary as well, Pascoe Vale Girls College, Glenroy College, John Faulkner College, so all students have the chance to aspire and succeed. We've invested significantly to improve school accessibility outcomes as well, and of course free TAFE will be continuing on. Transport, of course, the free transport for young people and seniors is a huge, huge win through this budget as well. Ongoing improvements to the Upfield and Craigieburn line through improved off-peak services, reducing them from 40 minutes to 20 minutes. It's a huge, huge uplift in services, along with the other improvements we're making along the corridor as well. The Brunswick Tram Depot, $115 million upgrade to improve local tram services as well. Active transport and road safety upgrades, of course, are provided for through this budget as well. In terms of health, wellbeing, community sport, environmental action, climate action, social justice, cost of living, this budget has a lot more in it I can talk about, but I commend it for now.